Tall Love. Chapter 13. The taxi was not the only challenge they faced. The restaurant manager was informed by Robin in advance that the party had doubled in size, but when they came in, the manager's impression was that it had been quadrupled instead. So, after the initial torpor, albeit relatively short, due to her professional skills, the woman rushed to find a table suitable for the giantesses. Being not cheap by any stretch of the imagination, the place was never packed, so she called 2 waiters and asked them to pull 2 tables together. She also made sure 3 deep leather armchairs were moved to the table instead of the regular wooden ones. This was the only way the women might, just might, have been able to stick their legs underneath the tables. "I accommodated the Harlem Globetrotters here the other day," she whispered into the waiter's ear. "You know, the basketball showman from the US, they didn't have a single guy shorter than 6'4". And I must say, it was much easier to comfort those lads than these ladies. How tall they are, I wonder." As he helped the guests to their table, the waiter ever so secretly compared his own height with theirs, and then returned to the manager's desk. "Hard to tell," he said. "You know, when they came in, I thought the man was really short, but he's about my height or yours. And my chin didn't come up any higher than the babes' bums." "Yeah, I saw that. The top of your head was at the level of their waists, can you freaking believe it? These chicks are not just very tall, they're extremely tall. No, they're way beyond extremely tall. I've never seen a man this tall, not to mention a woman. And here they are, 2 at a time. And, besides the heights, they're pretty as hell, aren't they? Especially the younger one. I'd be happy to be proven wrong, but she does look very young. I mean much too young." "Does she?" The manager was short-sighted. "You think she's underage? We may be in trouble then. I gotta check that, thank you." She approached the gang, coughed politely, and said, "I beg your pardon, but with all due respect, may I ask you, young lady, just how old are you? At this time, only customers over 21 are allowed on the premises, and you look a little younger than that. I hope you don't take this as an offense." "What's the problem?" It was Nick. Robin had called him earlier on to invite him over as well. He appeared unnoticed just a few minutes ago, and took the initiative straight away. "This is my fiancée, she's a foreigner and doesn't speak English. But I can assure you she is older than 21. He made a gesture towards Christina, as if inviting her to get up, and when she did and bent over to him, he kissed her on the cheek. That was a genuine gesture. He hadn't seen her for a while and wanted to kiss her all over, her pretty face, her swan neck, her not yet fully developed breasts, her tummy that could be seen beneath a pale green top, her long, very long, lovely legs. But he wasn't sure it wouldn't be frowned upon by her mother, who didn't understand a word of English and just watched the scene, smiling, as Bretta tried to catch up with the translation. "Look at her," he proudly raised his arm high in the air and put his hand on her upper arm. "Do you think she's not of legal age yet?" The manager didn't know what to think. On the one hand, the young customer's face looked so young. On the other hand, that very face was soaring so high, she herself felt like a little child standing in front of the customer. Never before had she felt so small, forced to look way, way up at a bosom, even at a stomach of somebody else, no matter how young or old that somebody was.
If you're enjoying the story, or even if you're not, please like or dislike it, share, and leave a comment. Positive or negative, they are all welcome. And do visit my page on Patreon, where you'll find new stories as well as the familiar ones. Patreon.com/Alex Steak. Thank you.
"I am sorry, miss. Please accept my apologies." The manager had made a decision, and, being overwhelmed by the presence of the person she was talking to, hadn't paid attention to Nick's words about her not speaking English. "To make it up to you, the first round of drinks is on the house. But please, may I ask just how tall are you?" Nick knew the answer, at least he thought he knew the answer, but he was busy playing the role of the interpreter. So, he mumbled some abracadabra and, having received Christina's Response: turn to the manager. She's 239 centimeters, which is just short of 8 feet. And she's still growing, he added proudly. In a matter of seconds, he realized that the last words contradicted his previous statement related to her age, but the manager failed to notice. Being French, she ignored the 8 feet stuff, but 239 centimeters did make an impact. She's a giraffe, she told the waiter. She's 2 meters 40. How do you know that? I asked. I wouldn't dare to. Why, she looks rather friendly. Still a giraffe though. Yeah, and the other one is even taller. Not much, but still. Taller? Really? She turned around to sneak a peek. Yeah. They must be the tallest sisters in the world. They look like sisters, and the other one must be their mother, right? I think so. And she looks short next to them, can you imagine, but she's a bloody tower. Herself. They must have an elephant of a father, he chuckled. And that man who's just joined them, do you know who he is? The boyfriend of the younger one. He looks pathetic next to her. He does. But you know, Ludivine, I guess the other one is the husband or boyfriend of her sister, who's even taller, and the man himself is even shorter than his companion. Can you imagine them standing on a lawn, posing for the family portrait? The manager laughed. I would give my tips for a week just to watch these couples kiss, said the waiter. I doubt the men could have a chance to kiss their women's breasts. Breasts, hey! I would eat my hat if they make it up to their navels.
If you're enjoying the story, or even if you're not, please like or dislike it, share, and leave a comment. Positive or negative, they are all welcome. And do visit my page on Patreon, where you'll find new stories as well as the familiar ones. Patreon.com/Alex Steak. Thank you.